This week on Top Travel, Janez is still in Copenhagen, where he discovers an organic fast food restaurant, travels by bicycle taxi and braves the icy harbour water. It's then all aboard the luxury cruise liner, the Costa Fortuna, for a whirl around the Baltic Sea before docking in Stockholm. Here he tours the Royal Palace, pops into tennis star Bjorn Borg's clothing store and visits a former prison turned hotel. Then it's back to the ship and straight into the kitchen.
The one issue I have with traveling is you go to all these amazing countries and you eat so many fantastic cuisines from all over the world. I mean, you saw me on the Orient Express, all that rich food, which was lovely and tasty, but probably not the healthiest. Now, I'm in Scandinavia and the Danes are a little bit crazy because they're obsessed with health and fitness. So I thought, no better place to change my ways than right here in Copenhagen. Now, I found this restaurant called Bjorn, which is 100% organic. In fact, everything inside, the decor and all, is also very environmentally friendly. And this is a fast food restaurant for health food. I never really thought about organic food until I went to Copenhagen. Hello.
Hi.
I need you to heal this aging body of mine with some good organic food.
Yeah, we can do that, definitely.
Yeah,
have you been here before?
Never.
No? Why are you here?
Because I want to be a healthy man again.
Yeah, and we'll make you that.
Good.
So let me explain a little bit about our concept. We're all organic concept in here, and we try to make like a responsibility so our guests can come in here and they can feel healthy, and then the still way they got a clean conscience because we think about the environment as well.
Fantastic.
So everything you see in here in our restaurant, like the table, every time we made a table, we planted a new tree. Everything you can choose. You go in the kitchen and there you choose your food. It's all organic. In the bar to choose your drinks up with Simmer, and it's all organic up here. Even our wines is organic. So let me explain to you. Here's your menu. You choose what you like to eat from the menu, and you just take this card, and then you go to the chef up here and order what you like.
If I lived in this restaurant, I would be the healthiest man in the world.
Definitely.
Even your menus are green.
Definitely. So just choose a table. Thank you. Hi.
How are you doing?
How may I help you?
Such a difficult choice because it's such an extensive menu.
Yeah.
But I think I'll go for the bio wok, please.
The bio wok.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you like to add some chicken, beef?
Chicken. Organic chicken. The food in Copenhagen is clean and it's wholesome and it's healthy. Who would have thought? You know, you don't need a lot of spices and flavors and colorants if your food is organic and it's good, because the flavor is in the vegetable.
And we top it off with some fresh organic.
Wow, you've got my taste buds watering. That looks delicious. Take a look at that. Energized and ready to tackle the rest of the day. It doesn't actually surprise me that Copenhagen has the world record for the most organic food consumed per capita. That meal was delicious and I feel absolutely satisfied. It's the total opposite feeling you get from eating a greasy burger, chips and soft drink. What is it you love about your city?
Big, and it's a big city, but it has this homey, atmospheric feeling to it. So you feel like you have a bit of the best of both worlds. You know, you have a big city with everything that comes with that. You can go out, and there's a lot of opportunities to see things and to go shopping and everything like this. But at the same time, there's this feeling that you're never lost. You're always contributing.
I understand that the Danish people love cycling in the summertime, but what happens in the wintertime? And isn't it a little bit dangerous at times?
No, the thing is, in the wintertime, even if it's getting to icy, a bit snowy, people are still, you know, going for it. This is Scandinavia. You have to you battle through.
15 years ago, it wasn't possible to swim in the harbour. It was dirty, it was an industrial area, there was a lot of pollution, and it was polluted by a bad sewage system. I get that. I'm standing on a float, which is floating on the Baltic Sea, and they've managed to clean the water. 15 years ago, it was dirty. I get that. But there's no solar heating whatsoever here, so it's freezing cold. I'm actually a little bit worried about the Danish people because I don't think they feel the cold. It's like 15 degrees and there's a serious wind chill. And the lifeguards down there are nicely wearing hoodies and beanies, very nice and warm. For some other reason, my director thinks that it's a good idea for me to jump into this water because that makes good television. I actually think it's quite a stupid idea. Look at her over there. She's just not feeling any cold. Is it warm? No, it's cold. I'm always brave when it comes to doing stuff. I was all for it until I put my toe into the water, then I realized this is not a good idea. I threw a big, moody tantrum. It was your idea. Can you push me in, please? It's freezing. I want to go home.
My brother Borat, he came for a swim. You like it very much. It's a little bit cold, but nice.
The fact that Borat is running around in his mankini just proves how open-minded the Danes are, and that's my kind of a city. I don't know what it is about cities that are built alongside the water, from Cape Town to Venice and now to Copenhagen. I just love their energy. And I must say, I have huge respect for Copenhagen's environmental consciousness and also their incredible design and sustainable architecture. But don't kid yourself, the Danes do know how to have fun. I've just stumbled across the annual Gay Pride Festival, and the whole city is abuzz. I might as well go and have some fun myself.
Stay tuned. Janez is about to board the enormous Costa Fortuna to journey to Stockholm, where he'll take a tour of the Royal Palace, assuming he can find his cabin.
I'm about to embark on my solo voyage clockwise around the Baltic Sea, leaving Copenhagen and heading towards Stockholm. Now this beast over here is my mode of transport. It can hold up to 4,427 people. It's an Italian cruise liner called the Costa Fortuna, and in fact, it's probably big enough to house a small Italian city. From down here, it looks like a skyscraper. I got completely lost on the Costa Fortuna. It takes you at least 2 days to find your way around. I don't know what to do. The ship is huge, so big, I'm completely lost. In fact, it's so big, it's 272 meters long, it's 36 meters wide, it's got 17 decks, can you believe that? 17 of them. 1,358 cabins, of which one of them, only one of them is my cabin, and I have to be expected to find that one. Okay, you can't keep following me with this camera. It's embarrassing now. I can't find my room. You're gonna help me, okay? I can't believe this. Lost on a ship. Okay, guys, come help me now. So this is my cabin. Back home, I wouldn't really go for one of these pink couches, but I must say, on board, it's got that kind of luxury, authentic cruise liner feel to it. Now, with so many people on board, I was worried I was going to be stuck in one of those small little cabins with no windows, but that's not the case. I've got a beautiful view of the ocean, my own balcony, excellent double bed. Ooh, and they've even given me some champagne, some grapes. Let's check out the rest. For me, the big plus about cruise liners is you literally only unpack once. This is me for the next 7 days. I've got a great big bathroom, but I think for now, I'm gonna get comfy and get into this. You know, I've always wanted to go to Stockholm. What I can tell you about Stockholm is it's known as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. It's known for its architecture, for its design, and like Venice, it's connected by various islands. I think it's about 14 of them. Unlike Venice, these islands aren't sinking. They're in fact rising. It's a phenomenon called the rebound, and during the Ice Age, the land was pushed down, and now it's rebounding back upwards by about 3 millimeters a year. which means that Stockholm is getting taller. The King of Sweden really is so proactive when it comes to being eco-friendly. For example, household waste is taken to a plant and turned from waste to energy and used for heating. All your grey water, which is basically all your wastewater from your dishwashers, etc., is then mined to produce biogas, and then that is used to basically power all your buses. So basically, you can use a public transport system, you don't have to use your own car. Behind me is the Royal Palace of Stockholm. Now, with royal families, you never really know what you're going to get. Carl Gustaf, he's one of the good guys. He used to be a Boy Scout when he was younger, and he's very environmentally conscious. And basically, the reason why Stockholm looks the way it does is because of him. Well, we're in the central courtyard of the Royal Palace. Is this still an active palace?
It is, yes. The King, Queen and the Crown Princess, they have offices here, and much of the planning for their activities are done here. They don't live here anymore. They live at Drottningholm's Palace on the western side of Stockholm. This is the Hall of State, where up until 1974 the Parliament was opened every year by the King. But in 1974 the Constitution of Sweden was changed, so the King lost the little formal political power that he still had. Nowadays it's used for receptions and summertime concerts. The Crown Princess, when she married Prince Daniel in 2010, they had their wedding dinner here, in this room.
Where did they meet, by the way?
They met at the gym, actually.
A gym instructor, that's amazing.
This is still in use, actually. The King meets with the government here about 4 or 5 times a year. They meet around the table here, and the King is still head of state of Sweden, so, and he likes to keep himself informed.
Yeah. It seems like a very grand banquet hall.
Yes, it is. When it's dinner season, we bring in a table 44.5 meters long and lay it with porcelain, china,
you go all
silver,
out.
Yeah, sure.
It's also a bit like the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles.
Yes, it is. Actually, it's more or less a copy.
Yeah.
Smaller one, but still. The architect for this palace was Nicodemus Tessin, the younger.
Yeah.
And he took influence from Charles Le Brun, who made mirrored hall in Versailles. So this is more or less a copy.
So each window has a mirror opposite?
Yeah, each window has a corresponding mirror.
Ingrid, how far outside the city centre are we?
We're actually right in the center of Stockholm right now. Can you believe it?
No, we're at a beach.
Yes, we are at the beach, and we're still about 5 minutes away from my house, which is in the center of the city. And if you look at buildings like this one over there, that's where people live, and then they go to those wonderful summer houses in the archipelago. I think you went through the archipelago this morning, right?
When we came into Stockholm, it was the most beautiful view I've ever seen, because literally there were islands everywhere and these beautiful homes.
There's about 33,000 islands, and most people who live in Stockholm have a home on one of those islands that they go to in the summer, and then they live in apartment buildings during the winter.
Now, we've just come from Copenhagen, and Stockholm seems very much the same. I mean, people are very much into living green and healthy.
Bicycling everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what inspires that? Is that something that's come down from the top?
I think Scandinavians in general have always been about nature. I mean, here, close to where I live, where we are right now, actually, you can go and pick mushrooms and blueberries. People are about outdoor living, you know. So it's all in our genes, because we have a tremendously long and horrible cold winter. So we want to be outdoors all the time when it's summer.
When we come back, Janez visits the Lungholmen, a prison that's now a hotel, and then gives into sweet temptation in the Costa Fortuna's kitchen.
So who's arguably Sweden's most famous person? Bjorn Borg, right? What are the 2 things you always run out of when you're traveling? For me, it's underwear and socks. Trust a tennis player to find a solution. How did Bjorn Borg get involved in underwear? I don't have a clue. It happened and it works. Bjorn Borg was one of the icons of the 70s. He was the guy every guy wanted to be. He was the best tennis player in the world. He was a style icon. He was a sex symbol. And Bjorn Borg, it's an interesting story. He won so many Grand Slams. He retired at the age of 26. Bjorn Borg retired at the age of 26. Arguably the world's greatest tennis player. Lost to John McEnroe, couldn't deal with it, retired, never went back to Wimbledon until 2 years ago. And rumor has it that he wasn't the world's best businessman, and he lost a lot of money in business. And starting up Bjorn Borg underwear was something that rejuvenated his career and his finances. Lena, the big question on my mind is Bjorn Borg, Sweden's most famous person, one of the best tennis players of all time, and boxer shorts. How do they mix?
Well, Bjorn, he was the first rock star of tennis, and he really brought fashion and passion into the stiff, posh world of tennis. And just in the same way, we brought fashion and passion into the dull world of underwear, into a black and white world. We took color and prints and made it fun. He's
turned 70s style tennis shorts into modern day boxers. The marketing company behind Bjorn Borg came up with this idea of having models run through the streets of Stockholm in Bjorn Borg underwear. And the area around the groin, they had pixelated, so it actually looked like these models were running around naked. They weren't naked, they were fully dressed, but it looked like they were naked. Yeah, why would they do that? Weird. I put them to the test, I did the same. I ran around Stockholm in my boxer shorts and my Bjorn Borg socks. It was, mine was a different take on their campaign. You've always got to be an individual. Actually, not that many people were actually quite cool with it. I had a couple of glances, a couple of old ladies like, what is he doing? But most people were like, oh, there's a guy running around in his boxer shorts, whatever. It's cool. If you had to do that in Cape Town, different story. Långholmen Hotel used to be one of the main prisons here in Stockholm. We were on a small little island. Now, the prison used to have about 200 cells, but here's the thing. Most of the prisoners were women, arrested for various things, begging, vagrancy, and something called loose living. I wonder what that is. This is the main foyer of the prison. You can see all these prison doors and our hotel doors into beautiful little rooms. In 1921, the death penalty was abolished in Sweden, which, if you think about it, is quite forward-thinking of them. But the last actual execution took place right here in this prison. I wonder where all those loose women are. Oh, that's a man, not a pretty Swedish girl. You know what I like about it is when you walk into the hotel, you still get the feeling of walking into a jail. You've got that feeling of being in a confined space, yet you're in a boutique hotel. Welcome to my cell. Come on inside. In true Swedish design style, they've kept very true to their theme. Got your nice little prison window, Wi-Fi, television, little safe. If you want to make it really cozy, you can share the room with 2 people. There's a bunk. And you've got your own bathroom. So when I heard there were loose women in the hotel, I was like, hello, where are you? Looking around every corner, no loose woman, didn't find them. Having spent 1 day in Copenhagen and 1 day in Stockholm, which is really not enough, it's barely touching the tip of the iceberg, I can honestly say that 2 cities I'd easily be able to live in. People just enjoy their life here. They've got their priorities straight. It's green, healthy living. I'm gonna miss Scandinavia. But don't worry, Swedish ladies, I'll be back. Scandinavia is proof of what can be done. You know, there's hope for us. They've sussed things out. They know that we need to change our ways, that being environmentally conscious is the right decision, and they've actually acted on it. They've acted on going green. I've been on a couple of cruise liners before, and each time I've given into this rubber arm of mine and given into all that lovely, rich, delicious food that I love so much. But this time round, I'm going to change my ways, and I'm going to prove to you guys that I can actually follow a healthy eating plan. And don't kid yourself, there's an abundance of healthy food on board. And I'm going to work out, I'm going to gym, I'm going to do some activities, do some real manly stuff. When I commit to something, I commit to something, and I don't look back. I've always been like that. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. No problems, nothing whatsoever. The engine room may power the ship, but for me, the real engine room is right here in the kitchen. You can see how busy it is. Now imagine you had to serve 3,500 guests, breakfast, lunch, and supper every single day. That's not an easy feat. Those guys in the kitchen work so hard, and it's crazy. Plates are coming in, plates are going out, food's being made. It's crazy, it's mayhem. It's organized chaos. Chef, how many people do you have working in here?
170.
170 people.
170.
So 170 people are responsible for feeding 3,400 guests?
Yes.
So how many meals is that per day?
20,000 meals per day.
20,000?
20,000.
That's crazy. What a job. Being a chef on a cruise liner, now that is hard work.
Ready to taste.
Let me give you my expert opinion. Chef, that tastes like home-cooked pasta. And you know what impresses me the most is even though you're cooking for thousands of people, you haven't compromised the taste or the quality.
Oh.
More temptation, dessert.
Dessert. I introduce my pastry chef.
Chef Rosario, everywhere I walk on the ship, I just see food and dessert, and I'm fighting not to eat it. What are we making here?
We're making the mascarpone cheese.
Yeah.
On top.
So this is tiramisu?
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu, okay. Desserts. It's so hard to say no to desserts, especially tiramisu. One of my favorites.
The coffee.
Coffee on top of the sponge cake?
The sponge.
I looked at that tiramisu and I thought, oh, I want it so badly. I just want to eat it. And then I thought, you know what? You're on this health mission. Don't do it. Don't eat it. It's beautiful. It looks like an Italian sculpture. He's also an artist. Unfortunately, I'm going to be a strong man. I'm not going to eat that because I'm looking after my waistline. I didn't eat it because I didn't want to eat it, you know. I'd been to the gym early that morning, and when you see so much food and you see people eating so much food, you lose your appetite. You saw me eat what?
Don't miss next week on Top Travel. Janez discovers yet more of the Costa Fortuna before arriving in picture-perfect Tallinn in Estonia. He'll join in the festivities of a medieval-style street carnival before moving on to St. Petersburg in Russia, where he visits one of the city's most iconic churches, as well as their world-famous ballet. After a pirouette or two, he moves on to Barcelona to finally reunite with Jeannie for a little fun in the sun.